Hello and welcome. My name is Dan Nato, Application Engineer for Saratech. Today I'm going to be talking about nonlinear material models inside Simcenter. So for this demonstration, I'm going to use the material 4340 steel. The material information has been pulled from the Atlas of Stress Strain Curves. You'll notice that I have the linear information, such as Young's modulus and Poisson's ratio. But today we're going to discuss what's happening after the material has yielded. So I went ahead and wrote down the stress strain curve for this material. Now, we're going to go ahead and set up material nonlinearity models. So there's two easy ways to do this. We can go ahead and create our own material using that material information that I provided in the last slide, and then enter in its material nonlinearity information. Or you could take a material that already exists. So in this case, you'll see that 4340 steel already exists into the library. We can right-click on that, copy the material, and then from there we can add our own material nonlinear information after that. So these are the nonlinear material models that we can set up inside Simcenter. You see, these are the type of nonlinear models. So nonlinear elastic, plastic, and plastic strain. So nonlinear elastic has no plasticity, and you just enter in the stress strain curve. The next is a plastic model. This one, you enter in the stress strain curve or the plasticity modulus, but it does have plasticity. The next one is plastic strain. So this time we enter in the stress versus the plastic strain this time instead of the normal strain. You'll see at the list below which models exist for which solution type. And the solution types that we're going to use is solution 106, which is basic nonlinear, and solution 401, 402, which is the new solution on multiphysics nonlinear. And this is how you would go ahead and define some of those stress strain related properties. So inside this form, you see there's a stress strain, and then it has an H in a parentheses. So inside there, depending on your material model, you can define that plastic modulus if you have it. You can define your stress strain curve, or you can define the stress and the strain curve only of that plastic region if you are using that last material model. Now, it is important that you have the initial yield point at the same location that your material yields. If not, Nastran will come back and yell at you. So let's go ahead and hop over into Simcenter and check it out. So I have open a simple model. It's just a simple clavis that I went ahead and mid-surface meshed it. So it already has a material defined for this, and I define it as 4340, and it's just a simple model. So we can go and look at the property, and you see it set up as a P-shell, and it's referenced to this material 4340. And you notice in this example, I don't have a default thickness. I actually capture that information from the mid-surface, and it's held on the mesh itself. So let's go ahead and create our own material, and we'll use a different collector for that. So we'll go to Manage Material. Here's the local material that I already used. So we can just select this, right-click, copy, and we can create our own local model where we enter in our stress strain properties for this. So if you remember, these are the type of material models that we can do: nonlinear elastic, plastic, and plastic strain. So in this case, we're going to stick with plastic. And if you have the plasticity modulus, you could go ahead and enter that now. So I do have that calculated, and I can just go ahead and copy my value and paste it into that space. But what I want to do is I want to use this stress strain curve in this case instead of using that plasticity modulus. It's pretty straightforward. So for here, if I hit this equal sign, I can hit new field, and I can do a table. So inside here, very simple, I can say versus strain, and I can manually type in the row ID, the strain, and the stress. In this case, it's probably easier if I select Edit Table in Spreadsheet, and I go ahead and I use this spreadsheet. I'm just going to go ahead and hide it on one side, and I'll pop open my other spreadsheet. I'll slide it to the other side. Now I can enter in my strain values. So just copy from one to the other. And this is pound for sprints. I'll grab PSI. Paste them in here. And I want to go ahead and make sure that I grab the yield value because I'm going to use that later. Just go ahead and close this chart. They'll say, hey, do you want to update it? And it's going to go ahead and update those values inside Simcenter. And you'll see it populate this chart. Now, like I said before, you want to make sure that you enter in that yield point at that same location at the top of the chart. Now, if I wanted to set this up as a plastic strain model, I would do the same thing that I had, except instead of entering those strain values, I would enter in the plastic strain at that location. And this could work as a nonlinear elastic model as well with the stress strain curve, except it wouldn't have plasticity to the model. So if you enter in stress strain data, please make sure that you enter in the yield point correctly. And I always like to go ahead and double check the plot and make sure it's correct. So you can visually see that I have the stress strain curve as I wanted. So after I have my material set up, I'll just go ahead and make sure that it stands out. I know that this is my nonlinear material. And I can just do, type in here if I wanted, that it's the plastic material that I defined. So now that I have defined my plastic material, let's go ahead and create a collector and use it. So new mesh collector. It's a 2D thin shell, and I'll just call this 4340 nonlinear. And let's go ahead and link it to that material that we defined. And like before, I'm going to leave this default thickness blank. I'm going to reference it for the mid-surface creation. So now, if I want to try a different material or I want to try my material model, I just take my mesh and I just drag it into my new collector. And now, what I like to do is double check. You can plot thickness and contours, or you can just quickly edit the display. Maybe you want to turn on their element thickness and offset. Make sure that everything got updated as I wanted to. So I hope I showed you that creating nonlinear material models is very straightforward here in Simcenter. Thank you.